Great. Onegaishimasu.
Onegaishimasu.
Okie doke. Good. Let's just loosen up a little bit. Slightly bit of a bounce. Feet settle to the ground. Take it to a swing, front and back. Take it to the sides. To rotation. Take it a little bit open close. Next one, just take a spiral path down, so it's just letting the arms across the body, it's just to open up the legs a little bit. Take it down and draw it back up. Just want a nice smooth transition. So down. Just let the arms circle the body. And take it to extension into flexion. Just come up, stretch up, open up the arms, drop onto the toes, swing down, let the arms come up over the back, up into the knees, drop into the body, reach back up to the top. The next one, just really release the upper body, take the legs a little bit wider. Take a nice deep breath in, the top, and just release down. Let them just brush the ground. As you take the next breath in, just draw up. Reach up. Drop down with the out breath. Last one, just extend the out breath. Release the body down a little bit more. When you feel the need to breathe in, just draw the body back up. All the way back up to the top. Good, just taking the shoulders, roll in the mat. Forwards. So that's the side, looks this. A bit bigger. Bring back to smaller. Reverse. Seems to make it a bit bigger. Back down. Just rolling the shoulders front and back. Across the chest, open out the side. Okay, keeping the feet on the floor, reaching over, use the opposite hand also, just a little bit of pressure. Reach and press, draw back. Reach up and out, press. Keep the breath circulating as you do it. Good, and just loosen off the hips. Just bring up the shoulders. So let the arms come down, just into the ribs. Some light. And that can come down back to the hips. Deep circles. And change direction. Continue this down. Lengthening back. And bring the feet together, circling 3 minutes. And change direction. Sticking one leg back, standing on like a railway track, press the back heel down into the ground. Very gently, just leaning the weight forward. And then keep that back weight, back heel down. A little bit of a rock forward. Take it to it's comfortable. Just bringing the back, knee down, foot flat, rock into that front hip. Settle into the front leg, find the knees, find the toes at the back, just going to float the knee off the ground, lengthen through the back leg. And just play with a little bit of rotation into it, a little bit of taking the weight forward. Come back up, bring the feet back together, set the back, the other leg back, press the heel down. If it feels comfortable, just send a little bit of a rock into it. Bring the knee down, feet flat, rocking through the hip. Stabilize into that front leg, find the toes, pull the knee off the ground. If it's comfortable, just play with a bit of a rock through it, bit of rotation. Good, pull the feet back together, Take them into a nice wide position. Hips back a little bit, bring the hands down level with the chest. Next bit's sort of couple, just taking the arms off the ground. Don't touch the ground with them, just bring them above the head. You can just play the mobility with it. Mobilize a bit side to side, up and down with the body. Mobilize towards the legs as well if you like. And then you can stay there, go to the next one, bringing the hands back around the body. Draw the hands up, reach into the shoulders. You release it wherever you are, come back to that hand position, the chest, and then just start to walk the hands forward. Draw the hips back, create a length through the whole body. Ears touching to the shoulders. So a couple of big deep breaths into the back of the ribcage. Okay, just drawing the hands back. Draw the legs a little bit closer together. Settle into the hips, just about level with the knees, a little bit lower. Just mobilize a little bit side to side. Use the hands as much as you need to. You can use them on the legs, use them on the ground, use them on the knees, go a bit higher if you like. Taking over to one side. Switching over. Draw it back to the other side, drawing the toes up from the ground. And walk into the other side. Drawing back to the center. And draw the feet a bit together. Set the hips just above the knees in this case. Just create a little bit of length through the spine. Press the hands into the knees. Lengthen up through the shoulders. And then just slowly roll into the shoulders. Looking over one way. All back to center, looking over the other. Taking the same hand down the ankle, just reaching up, play with a little bit, reaching up to the ceiling, and then with the chin, with the hand to the center of the chest, just drawing the elbow down to the ground. So extension, reaching up, then down, rotate through the spine. And take it to the other side. Just taking both ankles, just shake out hips a little bit, bring them hips a little bit higher. Straighten a little bit through the back of the legs, just draw the head down. Mobilize a little bit the hips. Bring the hands down to the ground, just walk the feet back together and take it into a nice gentle forward fold. Drawing the body, upper body towards the legs. And nice and gently bending the knees, trace up through the legs. Great. And we'll just work the legs a little bit. Just take a loose fist position. A fist shape. To the back. Working out the back of the legs. Knee. And off. Shin, just be careful of the shin bone. Nice and careful on the knee, just open the hand up. Right. Front, just taking a palm position. Roll the knee a little bit of a rub. Back into a fist. And just take it to the inner thigh. Side. Working way up into the groin. To the abdomen. At one side. The chest, to the back of the neck, shoulder, working down the arm. And the side of the arm, coming back up. Back down that side. Take it to the other side. This is the chest, shoulder, and the arm. And at the other side. Gently up onto the upper neck, clavicles. Take an open hand position now, just working the back of the neck. Gently going up onto the head. And down the jaw. Big hands, scrubbing together a little bit. Higher. And no pressure on the eyes. You just take the palm just in the socket. Just roll around. You can either kind of press and hold a little bit, or roll. Circles around. So up onto the side of the nose. Work it down. Bring to the nose, circling. High cheeks. Working you into the jaw. Under the chin. Working up the side of the ear, or the underside of the ear. Onto the ears. Release just back onto the clavicle. So we're just above and below. Other side. Shake out hands a little bit. Holding that a little bit, one over the other. And go the other way. And releasing the palm contact, roll through the wrists, fingers, elbow. Try going the other way. No, that one. Shake them out a little bit. Release out the arms. Straighten the legs out. Check out our body. And just really focus on the weight sinking down with the down. Let all the weight settle in. Give yourself a couple of seconds just to feel the weight drop into the ground. Great. Okay, grab a jump. Okay, just do a little bit for the grip in the forearm. So just find a nice strong grip. Keep the legs about hip width in this one, and just roll out. Keep a little bit of extension, but not blocking out the arm in this one. So the main feeling, just feel that the elbow's stable, like there's a weight hanging off the elbow, and then feel all the mobilities coming from that strong grip, the wrist, and also that slight rotation through the forearm. But again, trying to avoid the elbow wanting to come up out of the ground. And then just play with it so that the back two fingers are really the focus. The front fingers can be quite light, and then play with the pulse through the grip. So you just want to find the limit of the rotation, and then just add a little bit of a pulse through that, through the little ring finger. And the other fingers can be in contact with the 𝘱, but they're just not the focus of the grip. So what you're trying to do is activate the underside of the forearm with the grip, stabilize the elbow, and if the shoulder's in the right position, hopefully get a little bit of direction at the back of the underside of the shoulder with the lat muscle. And then when you're doing that pulse, think about also adding a little bit of ground contact. So add a little bit of pressure down with the foot, so that you feel there's also this and the foot just carrying the 𝘱 over as well. So you can play with this foot to foot in terms of if I'm on this side, this foot's going to kick the 𝘱 over a little bit more, and this one's going to kick it over a little bit more. But the main thing is just create a feeling down with the movement. So that pulse and a drop, pulse and a drop. And then you're just going to challenge it. You're just going to go into a little bit more extension work with it. So it's that same idea. When you reach the full extension, add a little bit of a pulse back and add a little bit of a pulse forward when you go into the extension. So you're just training, again, the grip, just to work in different positions, fully extended, a little bit close to the body, and you work with that feeling of a ground contact. And it's just the feeling of the body falling into the ground, not the sense that I'm kind of pushing down into the foot, just dropping into it. And once you feel comfortable with it, just play with extending the arm a little bit. Go a little bit high, a little bit low, a little bit to the side, a little bit to the back with it. Then just change the bits of the arm to connect to the rest of the body. Keep the grip work going. Great. And then same thing, just switching the hand, shake that one out a little bit. Just find that little bit of extended position. Start with a good strong grip, so you've got a sealed grip. And again, you're just checking the elbow's ability just to stay low. Forearm, wrist, find the rotation work. Arms comfortable, shoulders relaxed. Weight settling down. And then just start to loosen those front two fingers a little bit, focusing on the back two, and then adding that little bit of a pulse. So there's a pulse in the hand, and there's a little bit of pulse in the feet as well. And again, it's just a challenge, obviously, just start with a little bit of extension work. Add the pulse in the closed position, forward position. And just put a little focus on the feet. As soon as you've got the arm, the grip, coordinated with the movement. Just notice what's happening in the feet. And then when it's comfortable, just again, just play with a little bit, different patterns. You can reach up with it, you can reach low with it, chat to the side, change the hand position. And then which takes the figure of eight pattern, so play with the same feel, it's a little bit softer in the grip, but as you go through this motion, add a little bit of a kick to it again in terms of the grip. It's going to really seal on at this moment, and then it softens, seals on at that moment, seals on, softens, seals on, softens. So the softening is going to kind of happen, just it passes through the center line, and then you want to change over. As you pass into the center line or across the center line, that's where the pulse is going to kind of happen. And once you've got the hands focusing through the movement, again, just drop into the feet a little bit. Notice what's happening as you find that pulse in the grip, down in the feet. Just take it to a speed that's comfortable. So if you go a bit faster with it, and a little faster, and a bit slower with it, go slow. And then just start to play with the feet. So it's not really stepping, it's just shifting the weight. So it's just a feeling that you can shift the center over to one foot and then let the other foot loosen. So just really play with this and feel that you're really picking the foot up. So there's as much focus on the grounding leg as there is on the kind of foot that's rising. Imagine you're like shin deep in mud and you're trying to kind of pull the foot out of the ground. So really full use of the foot, articulation of the foot. Try and avoid in this case like too tight with the ankle. And the ankle basically does something like this. So just play with a kind of loose foot, really strongly connected with the anchoring leg. Just play with the ability of the foot to kind of release and soften next to the ground. Probably all the attention goes to the feet, so the hands start to lose that feeling. So just refine the grip as well. So refine that pulsing work through it. And again, try and link it now and chain it into the weight dropping into the foot. So you probably feel this is going across the body a little bit more than same side connection. Just play with it, and you're trying to time the weight draining down with the pulse of the foot, with the pulse of the grip. And then once you come with it, go into really stepping work with it. So it's starting to really take the weight to one side. But yeah, be really conscious about how you're kind of placing the foot in and out of the ground. See if you can maintain that grip work pattern as well. So trying to pulse through the grip as you shift. Go a bit faster, legs need to work a bit faster. And then focus, it's similar, but it's just focus on one footwork pattern, which you can do forwards, backwards to the side, but it's just working a kind of chain connection. So rather than kind of placing the foot and traveling into it, as you do with kind of walking, it's the feeling that you can take the foot back, pulse through it, and then press the body forward. So it's more of a kind of 𝗧𝗔𝗞𝗘𝗠𝗨𝗦𝗨 pattern, this kind of feeling. And again, you can do this kind of forwards and backwards. The easiest way to play this is keep one leg stable and just play with kind of pulsing the foot around. You can do it to the side here, but you're just looking for a little bit of pulse and then use it. A little bit of pulse and use it. So you're not fully kind of grounding the body in this case and then shifting the leg. You are using it just to pulse the connection in. So it's a little bit more dynamic step. Usually easier done backwards, but can be done forwards as well. And can be done to the side. So just play every so often with this one. Sometimes step, sometimes press and pulse. And then the last pattern, just work with a little bit of rotation work. You might feel that, or you might find the 𝘗 starts to change direction with it. Just follow the 𝘗 with it. So you might, for example, find that as you go into rotation, the 𝘗 starts to switch position. If you lose it, just go back to that kind of beginning pattern. But if you can, just follow the 𝘗. So if you want to take it that way a little bit, and you'll just start to work now with turning the body. The solution, if you kind of start to struggle with the back portion of it, just make a full rotation with it. So you start to really rotate with the 𝘗. This way. This way. So if you want, you can shift the direction of the 𝘗 if you're happy to go there. If you find it's a bit of a struggle, just stay with that forward position. The other solution for that is you can also just keep the 𝘗 in one hand for a little bit as you make the rotation. So you stop doing the switch and you just play with one direction. But again, the focus now is just on that rotation work. Nice. Good. Okay, so we'll just look at a little bit of 𝘰𝘠 pattern for the SUBURI, and we'll look at a little bit of 𝘰𝑦𝘠 work as well. So we'll start with the really basic number one, and just trying to chain the whole body together. Nice strong grounding, and then drawing back nice and calm. So use the kind of neutral position here, nice and lengthen body. Draw into the feet, draw into the 𝘗, squeeze the 𝘗 forwards, and draw it back. Take a nice, strong, connected movement. Give yourself time again just to ground the body. So most of the work in kindergarten is actually done in this level, and it's just this ability to go from a still position straight into movement. So this is the kind of quality you're training at. It's really a movement practice, although it looks like you're doing a lot of static work. The feeling of this is really just going to movement. Notice there's two things with this. There's movements before you go, so one of them tends to be like an up pull of the jaw, and then the body moves. And the other one that tends to happen is like a down push of the body, so something like the body goes down, and then you move into it. So try and minimize those. You're just looking to basically just move. So the body goes forward. It's obviously going down, and the jaw is coming up, but try and get all of those kind of tied together. So it's not just that the jaw goes up, it's not just that the body goes down, it's that everything really goes in together. So the base removes that back leg, and you just want to basically sink into it. And as you sink into it and you start to remove that front leg, the body's just going to start to travel forward with it. So you're looking to basically just drop into the movement. But yeah, notice one of those tendencies, the body tends to drop first, and then you move. Or you start to lift with the arms first, and then you move. But it's just trying to minimize those movements. But actually, you're trying to tie them into the whole movement, to the kind of global movement of the SUBURI. So it's just a question of how much of the body I can recruit straight away. That's it. Very good. Yeah, the other thing you've got, which is a challenge with this movement, again, it's going to challenge my ability to ground the body through, is you've got the up raise of the jaw. So as you come up, the jaw's starting to raise up through it. And if I follow this pattern, the body gets really pulled up and you start to go into like the throat area. And then moving in a balanced way is really a challenge for the body. So know that that's kind of happening with the set. You've got this kind of upward arc of the jaw, and try and meet it with the down side of the body. So I want the feeling to be like pressing down on top of the jaw, and it's kind of sinking underneath it as well. So there's a kind of double path of the body meeting the jaw at the top. So there's a kind of arc of feeling down over the top, and an arc of feeling up and under the jaw. But I don't want one to basically kind of dominate. In this case, what tends to happen with the jaw work, particularly the ski work, is a kind of a upraise of the body. Yeah. There we go. Great. Good. So we'll just take this into working with number 5, but start from that original position so you've got a very clear beginning to the movement. Take your time, rolling into the ski here, and then from here you're just going to raise up to the top. Draw that front foot back with you, draw to the center line, and you shift to the end of the jump and striking down into it. So just again working with a nice clean fall. Look for really finding a still position at the end of the ski. Roll up to the top, find a still position at that top position. Release into the strike, and then it's just an issue of kind of recruiting the whole body into that movement. And the more clear that is, the easier going to kindergarten is. Good, good. That's good. Yeah. So you've got, in a way, the kind of opposite problem with this now. You've got the arc that's coming down from the ground, so from that top position, the arc of the body coming down. Think in this case, there's also an issue here where the body kind of hovers above the hips, so something like it hovers, and then I descend down with the body. So there's like a split in the movement, it's like something like that. Think about just an arc that goes straight down. So you're in that position, you're in this position, and then think about dragging the jaw down with the body. So there's a downwards pull straight from the beginning of that movement. It's not a big motion, but think about you're in that top position, you're just gonna descend the jaw down through the ground this way. So again, notice the tendency to kind of hover over the top of the hip and then engage into the hip work. Think about actually just engaging straight into it, so the hips just draw the jaw down here. So you can play also with the kind of setup with it, where you find the handwork and then you engage the hip. But ideally, see if you can get this really like one motion. So it's just engaging straight down with it. Yeah, so the key with this also, like the knee needs to be really happy in its position. So this is why we also like take time, or one of the reasons we take time in the sense of drawing the foot back into this position. So just to experiment with this, but you really want the foot to be in a position where you can just drop the center into the leg. So the knee needs to be happy in this position. So there's certain things where the knee's not happy, such as like twisting out, something like this, the knee knocking in this position. The other one is just if like the foot's too far away, and the knee's got a lot of work to do to kind of release to the foot. And then it tends to kind of freeze. So you can also be too close with it, where obviously then the hip's kind of falling out of the foot. So just explore, so just find a position with that leg where it just draws up, and then you can just, with that next move, just pass the foot into it. And the knee should be kind of totally happy just receiving that motion. But again, look for things like twisting of the knee, knocking of the knee, or just kind of missing the foot with the leg. But again, it's just, as you do it and you refine a little bit more, it's kind of millimetric in terms of where I place the foot and whether the knee's really happy or not. Just kind of receiving that motion. Using now that second drawback just to really study where the foot's happy to just receive the weight of the hip and roll through it. That's great. Really nice. Very nice, good. Yeah, and then with that, focus on the back leg. So you want to create a chain from the back leg. Again, one tendency with this is to kind of pick the leg up and then place it down and do this kind of work. It's fine, it gets you moving, but think about kind of refining a little bit more. So there's a feeling that you can really use the mobility and the joint system of the back foot to really roll into this position. So I'm trying to keep the ground top contact for as long as I can through. So you start to roll through the foot and then peel out of the ground into the strike. So you've got that full contact in the back leg, in the front leg. But the back leg's also going to kind of use the articulation just to roll through it. This is nicely like you do in barefoot. How we do it in shoes, this is a bit tricky to look for, but it's focus on kind of peeling that back foot out of the ground. Yes. And then the next one is just an exercise to go before we go into flexible work with it. So just take the jaw in the center with the right hand. In this case, all you're looking to do is pull the body back and just roll through this way. So you're just passing the jaw through the center line. The main work here is just the hip work and the footwork. So you're looking to find the feet at the back. And then in this case, just feel that the hip's able to just mobilize through. So there's no kind of static hold position for the hip now. You just want to basically sink back, find the feet, roll through this way. And you just use the jaw however you feel. If you want to, you can go into the pattern that we will go to, which is that kind of raise and lower with it. Or you can just let the arm roll with it. But the key thing now is to look for, again, this flexibility in the hip. A few ways you can do this. You can also start with like a static feet together position and just press the foot back. Yeah, so you just want to get the feeling that the hip can use that motion and just spring forward out of it. So later the pattern is a little bit more complex, but it's just focusing on that one ability of the front foot to be grounded, back hips mobile. It's going to get kind of a leg to pass the body forwards and backwards. And the feeling's like a kind of surging back, springing forward. Good. Now, just take the Joe in the left hand in this case. It's just for the arm work in this case. So be light with the arm, be loose with the arm. And you just want to basically play with now this raise up and then this sink down this way. So you're just looking to tie the shoulder into the body now. So it's this into this. Now feel when the arm changes position in terms of its descent, in terms of changing from the raise to the sinking down, it's going to be an impulse from the hip. So that impulse from the ground is going to change the direction of the arm. So this to this. And you just want to basically smooth that connection out. So this to this. And so the feeling's like an elastic connection from the foot to the hand. And then just going to switch that switch the direction of it. Try and feel it's the same with the shoulder. So the same thing that's happening with the hip is happening with the shoulder. So the main point of Kinagari work is that the hip never gets fixed in place. Same with the shoulder. The shoulder doesn't want to basically get to position and lock in and then mobilize. You want the shoulder to just be freely mobilizing all the time. So this kind of swinging work's really useful because it keeps the shoulder free. And there's no idea that the shoulder's basically going to stop and then release. So the same with this one. Again, it's a problem that we do with the Kihon work, that the tendency is to get to that position and then lock the shoulder in place. But you actually just want to get to that position, rest into that position, and then use it. Yeah, but then the work of the Kinagari work is, can I get the shoulder just to stay mobile? And basically, again, receiving the message from the hips, basically, to stay in motion. Yeah. Okay. Good, and then bring the Joe back into it. So you've got the ski at the beginning of it. Now this whole pattern goes together. You've got the roll back, rock into the strike. And again, the Joe's just going to challenge the ability to keep the body in motion now. So just think about the Joe as feedback for the body work. And again, the main question is, can I keep the hips in motion? Can I keep the shoulder free and unlocked? And you've got all those added extras of, can I mobilize the Joe? Can I find a strike with it? Can I exert power, balance? Good. Good. And then lastly, just go from the beginning, the position we began in. So you're going straight into the ski. And then from here, that front foot's going to be the ground contact, just to go into the strike this way. So you've got no surging back. All you're doing is you're basically pulsing into that front leg and just receiving that motion with the hip. And then from there, the hip's going to drive in and you're into the strike here. So then the whole motion now becomes one. This ski in, and then you just release up into the strike, straight away into it. Okay, last minute, so just do these now as slowly as you can stay in motion. So if you think about also, you can add in a little bit of flow between the ski and the strike, but just think about slow as we can kind of keep the whole body in motion. So you want to glue everything together. Again, whatever direction you give the body, let the whole body follow it. Big, smooth, clear motion. Nice and slow as you can keep it together. Good. Yeah, good. Good. Very nice. Great. Okay, we will stop right there. Good. Right. どうもありがとうございます。
どうもありがとうございました。
Okie dokie. Thank you very much.
Thank you.